Nope. That's not my bad. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Unsolicited with Sam and Jordyn. I am Sam, this is Jordyn, and I once again fucked up the beginning of our recording as per usual. I am literally a professional producer and I can't even do this.
I don't know what's worse though. I don't know what's worse, that you messed it up or the fact that I didn't even notice that was not our actual intro.
No, it's like literally like every single time I come on here now. And I was just saying before, I'm like looking in the tabs. I'm like, where did I put the video? Where is the video? I'm
No. She goes, "Where's that thing? I can't find the thing." And I said, "What thing?"
Well, we are a mess. It is we took a break last week and we are back again, better than ever. Jordyn, how are you doing?
I'm doing so great, honestly. Can't complain. So excited for the holidays. The one thing that is kind of changing in my life is my Hunger Games obsession is back in a crippling full force.
Oh, I've heard.
It's like kind of all I think about anymore. So I did see the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And especially with like the 1989 re-recording coming out like a couple of weeks ago, and like now I'm in a Hunger Games obsession. Like I feel like I'm back in like 2013 to 2015. I'm not mad about it. But this movie has like, it's one of those movies that stays with you, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. I like need more Hunger Games or I'm not going to make it.
So I'm not familiar with this story. I mean, I know the concept of it. I know that it's a prequel. I know President Snow is the guy.
Yes.
But like, without giving anything away, what's kind of like the premise of the story?
So it's essentially, you honestly, without giving too much away, like you basically nailed it. It's literally just showing you like President Snow from the time he was like, I mean, the story takes place mainly when he's 18. And it's the 10th annual Hunger Games. And this isn't giving anything away. This is just literally the plot. Right. It's like the Hunger Games where they started kind of making it a show. Like prior to the 10th Hunger Games, you and I don't even think then, but like, you know how in the like Katniss era, like you're forced to watch it. It's a big deal. Like back then it wasn't. And it's just like showing kind of how that came to be, which is crazy. And then, just showing you like President Snow's villain origin story.
Gotcha.
But it's really tough because there are moments where you're like giggling.
You like him?
Yeah, where you're like giggling and like kicking your feet for President Snow, and especially in the movie, because he's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's like really hard not to, but then you're like, oh my God, this man murders everyone.
Yeah. No, I thought for some reason, I thought it was the first Hunger Games.
No, so they discuss like in the intro of the book, it's like a before, and they do talk about like, it's like very post-war. He's very young. And they do talk about it. I fucked up because I'm going to have to get up in 1 minute because I forgot to plug my computer in. However, I'll finish this thought. But no, it's actually like the 10th Hunger Games. And it is when like the games started becoming the games that we saw in Katniss years.
I gotcha. All right, go get up and get your computer charger.
Start telling the story.
Okay, yeah, I'll start telling my story, which Jordyn knows the concept of the story. So basically, my brother has worked at Amazon for the last 5 years. He works in a warehouse, like the whole shebang, has worked his way up. He doesn't just like sit there and just like pack packages. He like has a bigger job than that. But he processes returns, he like problem solves things along those lines. And then he also kind of like gets the last of the box and like looks to see where it's going, make sure everything's correct, and then sends it off into the whatever Amazon void that then goes directly magically to our doorsteps. And so obviously I have been Christmas shopping, and Amazon is a big place. So I put in this huge Amazon order 2 days ago. No, No, last night, because it was Monday Night Football and I was doing it during Monday Night Football, and today's Tuesday. So this morning, I'm on the bus, I'm going to work, I get a text from my brother, and he's like, "Okay, you're like not going to believe what I'm about to tell you." And I was like, "Is everything okay?" I was like, because he does not text me that way. Like he's very straightforward about things a lot of the time. And he goes, "I just printed out a label with your name and address on it, and I'm processing your Amazon package." And I was like, "Sir." I was like, "You have been at this job for 5 years. I have been ordering things from Amazon. My family has been ordering things from Amazon, and we also don't always get from the warehouse that is here. Like we get from the Jersey warehouse, that we sometimes we get from like the Kentucky warehouse. Like I'm also very aware of this now because he works there, so it's like I always see where it comes from." And he goes, "No, I literally just printed out a label and it said Samantha Cardona and it had your address on it." And he was like, "I was flabbergasted." Like my brother sat there and just stared at it like, what are the odds that me, of all people, also on his line of work, prints out my Amazon label?
No, that's actually insane. Because yeah, like not only is it a long shot within his own warehouse, but like
Right.
you didn't even know that it was going to there were so many warehouses that it could have gone to. Like
Yeah.
this
It
sphere
probably could
is
have gone to
so
like
large.
3 or 4 different warehouses.
Oh my God. No, that's
So
actually insane because I've thought about that whenever we've talked about your brother's job. Like you wonder, it's like, oh, like maybe he'll do it one day.
yeah.
And the fact that he actually did.
No, like and like as a joke, we've always said like, "Oh, Danny, like go grab our packages from the like," but I literally asked him, I was like, "Can you grab it off the line? Can you just
Yeah.
bring it
Can
to
you
me?"
just bring it home?
And and the thing was too, as I was getting ready for work in the morning, I got an email from Amazon like saying like, "Hey, your package is like being processed and it'll be
And it
here
was your
earlier."
brother
And it was
processing
my
it.
brother. How freaking crazy is that? And I was just like, "This is so sad." I literally was like, "Who do I tell? I have to tell people." I like texted my entire family. I was like, "You guys aren't gonna believe this." I sent my to my group chat with like my cousins and everyone's like significant others. It's like a group chat of like 9 people. And I was like, "Guys, it's 7:30 in the morning, but Danny processed in my Amazon order."
No, I saw it on your private story.
Yes, I
And
did. I put it
I
there because I was
was
like,
like,
"I have to tell people."
no, like as you should. I was mind blown. Like I sat there and I was like, holy shit.
And like the thing was too, like we just kept going back and forth about it too. Like normally I'm like, "Okay," and like I'll like end a conversation, but I'm like, "Danny, I don't believe this." And I was like, "Big box, little box? Is it everything? Is it one thing?" And he was like, "It's like a medium tall box." And I was like, "All right, I know what it is. I know
All
what it
right
is."
now.
All right, all right, all right. But yeah, so that's my fun story, and the fact that I am done Christmas shopping.
Already?
Yes, I just have to buy Michael's gift, but I know what I'm getting him.
Um,
This was supposed to be like our last thing we talked
I
about.
know, but I am flabbergasted by the statement because I haven't even like thought about purchasing a thing.
No, I'm a November shopping lady because the deals start coming in like Black Friday's not even a thing anymore. Black Friday starts early now. Like I walked into Kohl's yesterday, everything was 50% off. And I was like, I'm going to buy things.
I need to go shop. I need to go out in the world.
Yes. Yes, you do. It's insane. But yes, I fluffed our Christmas tree. She's up and ready to go. She's ready to get decorated. I finished the Christmas shopping. I have been slowly putting things around the house to like decorate a little bit. But yep.
No, I have a like 4-foot Christmas tree in my apartment with 9
Oh.
feet ceilings.
Yeah.
Um, so there's a big gap, but it's pre-lit, and I have 4 ornaments on it.
Lovely.
One's an eagle and one's a filly.
You know what? That's perfect.
Yeah, you
That is
expect nothing
perfect.
less.
Expect
Um,
nothing less.
and I have a Philly Santa countdown that Robbie just brought over for me.
I
Um,
saw that.
so
So
cute.
cute.
It's so cute. No, I literally love it.
I
He actually got me the 2 of the eagle and the Philly ornament too. So shout out Robbie for helping with my Christmas assistance.
Wait, you have to like 2 years ago, I bought you an ornament that said "'Tis
I
the
need
damn
to get it
season."
from my mom.
I just remembered literally just now. It's
Sam,
like the little wooden ornament,
yes, no,
remember?
and it has the plaid, the black and white plaid.
Yes.
No, Sam, I fucking love that ornament because that is like my winter song. Um,
Yes.
I love it. No, I literally need to go to my mom's. I'm just gonna go to my mom. Mom, don't listen. I'm just gonna go to her house and steal like that ornament and then like 4 or 5 colored balls.
There you go. There you go.
She
I
won't know.
actually one of, like, the things I've been looking forward to, like, my entire life is having my own Christmas tree, and it's because every single year since I was a baby, my grandmother buys my brother and I an ornament to, like, represent, like, that part of our life. So, like, when I was in, like, my karate era, she got me a little girl, like, Kiaing, and, like, then one year I got my first pair of Uggs, and she bought me a pair of Uggs, and, like, so every year she bought us an ornament, so I have about 20 to 25 different ornaments that are actually mine that I now get to take and put on my own Christmas tree. How smart is that, though?
No, that's so
Like,
wholesome.
I'm gonna have to do that, like,
No, you have to.
or my mom's gonna have to do it for my kids. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be remembering this when I'm an old lady, but literally, I was just like, "Oh my god!" Like now, like, because we bought a freaking 6 foot fake tree, we gotta fill
Oh,
it
you
up.
got the real deal.
Yeah, well, Michael's mom bought it for us,
That's so
so she was
nice.
just like, "Here, have a Christmas tree," and I was like,
That's what
"Okay."
I'm not even doing Christmas morning at my apartment. Like Christmas Eve, I'm still gonna go back and sleep at my mom's. And I really
Yeah,
wanted a tree, but I was like, do I really want to drop a couple $100 on a tree right now when I have this little fake one and I'm gonna buy one in January to like have for the future years, like on
there you
sale.
go. And right now on Amazon, I think you can get them for like $70. So I
Oh,
bet you,
really?
like, yeah, like post Christmas, I bet you it'll drop, and you could probably
Wait,
get it for
I
like.
thought they were way more expensive than that.
Well, because in the stores, because I've been going to, because like now all of a sudden I'm very hyper aware of how much things cost. Like,
Mhm.
like now as like an adult, I'm like figuring things out. I walked into Ace Hardware, Ace fucking Hardware, $550 for a tree that looks exactly like the one sitting in my living room right now. And like it's pre-lit. I mean, it looks really pretty, but I'm like, this thing is pre-lit. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna add some more string lights to it, and, like, that's what you'd be doing anyway to a tree, and I'm like, $550? Are you out of your goddamn mind? I'm not paying all that money for a fake tree.
No, that's absolutely absurd.
Yeah, so Amazon has trees for under $100,
Okay. You know what?
and
Noted.
my brother bought one at Target for 55,
Okay.
and I
All right.
think it
Maybe
was 6 foot.
All right, maybe I'm just under the wrong impression because that I would do. I thought they were all gonna be like 400 or 500 bucks.
Well, yeah, normally, if you just walk into a store, they are,
That's
but
insane.
the man, the Jeff Bezos man, has made things shockingly affordable for us.
Oh, I hate when I like them.
Yeah, I know, me too.
That
Alright.
freaking billionaire.
Well, you are wearing your beautiful Chiefs, oh my god, your beautiful Eagles shirt. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm so sorry. But the Eagles beat the Chiefs. Monday Night Football, huge, huge fucking game for them. Huge, huge, huge. It was, and I will not gonna lie, I like in the middle, it kinda got a little boring for me, but I'm sure it wasn't for you, but for me, I was just like, "Ah," and I, like, took a shower and I came back, and then all of a sudden, the 2-minute warning showed up, and I was like, "Okay, this is where it's all gonna go down."
Yep.
So, tell me your, thought process. How was your feelings, your heart rate?
Thank you. You know what? It was actually kind of like a really ugly game. Like we didn't play well by
Yeah,
any stretch
I
of the
agree.
imagination. Um, and so it was like it was crazy because it was like one of those where it was like, have you seen the meme where it was like, "Ooh, I'm so excited to watch my favorite football team. I'm going to fucking kill myself."
Yeah, and it's like,
Nice,
"Oh,
we
cool, we
won.
won."
Yes, that is every single Eagles game this season,
Yeah.
minus when we play the Jets, Zach Wilson. Um, but no, I for some reason the weeks leading up to this game, I was so nervous. I was like, "Oh, like we don't stand a chance." Like I don't know why, like that's where my head went. And then for some reason, I woke up Monday and I was just like, we're winning. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And like all day, everyone was just like, are you nervous? Are you nervous? And I was just like, no. Like I got this like calm feeling. And even the whole time, like I recorded all my reactions throughout the game and I just put it up on TikTok. Like I was going nuts and like I was anxious while it was happening, but for some reason I just knew. Like Jalen Hurts' wallpaper was literally himself walking off the field after losing to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So I was like, there's just no way. Also, Taylor wasn't going to be there.
Yep.
And Travis did not have a good game.
He looked bad. Yeah. No, not his shiniest moment.
No.
We'll say.
Which I hate to root against him because I just also, not even because of Taylor, love him as a person.
Sure.
Have for a long time. But in those moments, you're dead to me.
Fair. Very fair. I have to say, though, when he showed up to the game yesterday and I saw his outfit, I was like, Travis, whew, buddy, he looked good.
It looked very good.
The jeans were just his size. He had the sunglasses with the jacket. I was like, okay. I mean, he's always dressed well. Like he's constantly dressing good.
Yeah.
Jason showed up in flip-flops, which I was just like, slay.
Yeah, pop off king.
I freaking love Jason Kelce. Yeah, I wanted as a Giants fan, I am obsessed with this man and I wanted him to be the sexiest man alive.
No, me too. Also, his wife, I think is legitimately the most spectacular person that's ever been alive.
Yeah. No, she's wonderful. And she's exactly what he needs as a wife. And
I think she's exactly wait, is that what you just said?
I said she's exactly what he needs as a wife.
Yeah, I was literally going to say that. I think those words just came out of her mouth.
I also love the clips from their podcast that now is becoming memes, especially in the Swift world. But like people are just like, why didn't Jason bring shoes for Jason? Because he was wearing the flip-flops, but it comes from like, why didn't Jason bring jeans for Jason instead of Kylie? And I think that's so funny. It's such a good meme.
Wait, do you want to hear something? Speaking of the podcast, when Travis had the fumble in last night's game, the whole bar started yelling, "No news." And I was like,
oh my God, that's savage.
It was nuts.
Wow.
Yeah. No, they were brutal.
That's a low blow.
It was. But no, overall, game was super fun. Oh, something crazy happened though. Granted, I was like pretty drunk last night.
Sure.
Like I don't really go out like that often. And the beers were flowing. They were going down like water. And at one point I was drunk and overwhelmed. And I literally I was in a booth and I stuck my hand down and like put my hand in the booth and I came out and I just shard glass in my thumb. I was like, bleeding.
Oh my God.
What I'm just sitting at the table and I was just like, well, and then me and Brian, who like don't think about life, just like took like the napkin off the table and like wrapped it in like a tourniquet. And one of the girlfriends sitting next to me was like, that's probably dirty. Like, don't put that on your open wound. And she ran up. She was like, they definitely have a first aid kit. Like it was in the middle of like a big drive in the first half. And I was like, I don't care. I was like, I don't care about my bleeding thumb. Like, I just want to watch this game. And she was like, okay, I'll go to the bathroom. And then she comes back with Neosporin Band-Aids. And we wrapped my finger.
Is your finger okay?
It's totally fine. I literally took the Band-Aid off. I don't even know if you can see it. There's just like a little, you literally can't see it. It wasn't a big. No, it wasn't a cut. It just like impaled me.
Did you
and I literally pulled my thumb out and there was a piece of glass. Like,
did you pull the glass out?
I just ripped it out.
Oh, good. That's how Steve Irwin died. So good.
What? I thought he got struck in the heart by a reptile.
Well, he died because he pulled it out.
What?
That's like the whole thing with like puncture wounds. If the knife is still in you, like you're supposed to, like you do not pull it out because you will bleed out. It's like basically holding you together.
Oh no, am I going to die?
No, you're not going to die, but I was making a joke. It was a bad joke, but.
Oh my God. All of a sudden, it's literally like you cannot see it. It's that.
Oh, I kind of see it now. I see the little hole.
Cut. It's just like I literally got impaled.
Okay, you're making me think it was like a shard of glass.
No,
it was like that was like
no. I was so dramatic, and at the table they were like, "What happened?" And I was like, "I was gushing blood." Brian was like, "Chill." Like,
yeah.
You were like casually bleeding.
Well, I saw the video of you and you holding the napkin, and the napkin was covered in blood. And I was like, oh, she just glossed right over that.
Yeah. No, in the video, I just put the part where Brian looks at it and I go, I'll live.
Yeah. Because I like looked at it because I saw you doing it. And I saw like, you stabbed yourself, and I was like, okay. And then I just saw the napkin covered in blood, and I was like, all right. Well, she's here today. I've been talking to her.
Yeah.
She's alive.
I think the thumb works.
Real quick before we move on, I have to tell you, I know that you like this genre, but I have been full and wholeheartedly obsessed with true crime podcasts right now. When I tell you I've listened to dozens of episodes of a podcast called Crime Junkie, I simply have scared myself into oblivion because I literally walked outside. So we're in like full like cleaning mode right now. So Michael's mother, who's moved downstairs from us, had these big plastic bags filled with clothes and stuff that she put out for the Purple Heart veterans to come and pick up to be donated. And she put it like the way that my car, when I park my car, it's like right next to the front door. So she put them behind my car. And so and obviously it gets dark now at 4 p.m. So I go outside to go to my car to go to kickboxing, and I'm listening to the podcast. I cannot even pause these things. And I'm walking, and they said, some scary ass shit, like they found the body and the eyes were decomposed or something. And I just looked, and I just see this giant black bag by my car. When I tell you, I went, and I thought it was a person coming out from like under my car. And then I told Michael, and he's like, you have to stop. And I was like, I can't. And also I'm like, I am going to be killed by a serial killer. I fit the description of some serial killer in the universe.
Yep.
But yeah, I can't stop listening to it though.
No, I know exactly that feeling. Because of my obsession, and I love true crime in general. Like me and Brian we've been loving the mini series, like the murder mystery mini series. Yes. So we're on like our third one, and we've been binging them. So it's just been like creepy murder, like court case, another murder, like it's
send them to me. I want to watch them.
Oh, my mom wrote us the list. The first one we watched was The Night Of on HBO. Okay. Then it was The Undoing with Nicole Kidman. Fantastic. And then right now we're watching Mare of Easttown, which is set in Philly, and they have like the Delco accents, and they drink water or Wawa. I'm sure they drink water as well, but not what I was trying to say.
Well, I had to veer left on that one though, because I meant to tell you, and I said veer left, and I actually went right, so that's fun.
It's okay. I still have to go like this when I'm driving.
Yeah, so. Same. But yeah, I cannot stop listening to them. I love them so much. And some of them are like, yeah, back in 2020. And I'm like, oh my God, that was not that long ago.
Well, I had that experience with the Idaho murder case.
Yes, which you were so obsessed with.
Like, no, it was. And I know I wasn't the only one, but it was like a legitimate sickness. Like it was all I researched. It was all I thought about. I don't know why. I just think like they were just kids that like went home after partying and died. Like that we've all done it so many times. Sure. And for some reason, it just like really sat on me. But I remember I was like so hyper fixated on it, and I started scaring myself. And this is when I was still living at home. Yeah. So my mom was like, it's all the way in Idaho. He's all the way in Idaho. Like, do not worry about a thing. Yeah. And then I get the notification, arrested in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, which is like, right there. Not actually. It's probably like 2 hours away, but still like to come that close. Like I've been there. Like I've been to the Poconos there. Yeah. Yeah. And then I literally moved out like 3 weeks later, and I was like, I changed my mind. Can I cancel this lease? Like,
yes. No, I'm realizing how much I give you so much props for living by yourself. I know Brian comes over now and everything, but I could not. I would be in a constant anxiety state where someone would be like coming into my house.
No, I go through phases where there's sometimes where I'm like, I'm so calm, I'm safe. Yeah. And then sometimes I'm like, nope, there's someone literally. It's like you can see everything, and I'm like, oh, there's someone hiding in here. Yeah, I can sense them. Like,
no, I was like listening to the podcast, and I was folding laundry next to our bed. And Michael was 2 feet away from me. He was on his computer playing video games. I'm listening to it. I'm folding laundry. I'm enjoying myself. And then all of a sudden, I became very hyper aware that I was next to the bed. And I was like, somebody's under the bed. We have boxes under the bed. We can't fit under the bed. No, the cat can barely fit under the bed. I'm like, somebody's about to grab my ankles. Like, I was like, huh, and I like gave myself the heebies and I like ran out of the room and Michael was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
No, I honestly have felt that like since I started living alone, I don't watch as much creepy stuff as I normally like would have.
Yes.
And I love like I didn't even really watch like during Halloween time. Halloween Michael Myers is my favorite, and I probably only
Yeah.
watch like 2 or 3 movies when I normally like binge.
Yeah. No, I didn't watch any scary or
No.
any kind of movie at all because I was like, I'm going to scare myself to death, especially with it getting dark so early
Yep.
and I have to go out to my car because I can only go to kickboxing at night. I'm like, mm-mm, mm-mm.
I
Can't do it.
like my life.
I like my life. I like to feel an ignorant blissfully ignorant is the
Yes.
and I'm like, I don't even wanna know. Don't even tell me. I don't mm-mm, mm-mm. I don't wanna know. But
Yep.
also, I'm listening to all these true crime podcasts.
No, literally. Literally. But I feel you there. And we already talked about Taylor's current boyfriend.
Sure.
But I think we have to talk a little bit about her ex right now.
Yes, let's do it, please. I'm so excited about this.
I actually need you to fill me in because I
Okay.
heard just the basics. So tell me everything that you know.
So I saw a
Right.
TikTok, and obviously
Sam, correction. You read an article.
I'm sorry, I read an article, where this girl was explaining to me via green screen, what was going on. No, but so basically, she was talking about how obviously when Joe and Taylor were dating, you know, it was very private and he was all, you know, kept her inside and all that good stuff. But right now that he's dating this girl, I don't remember her name. I should have had this all ready to go, but I don't. Um, there's it's someone who's like part of like kind of a reality TV type of show. And hold on, this freaking thing wants to give me ads. But basically, the overarching thing here is she was talking about how there's all this footage of him being out in the open now, stopping for paparazzi pictures, not like putting the hood up, not like running around doing all this stuff. And oh, here it is. Laird. He was dating Emma Laird, a 24-year-old co-star in an upcoming movie, The Brutalist. I don't even know who this girl is,
No.
honestly. But again, I saw a picture and I was just like, okay, sure. It's like I don't really know a lot about reality TV people, but like he's out in the open with this woman who apparently is like they're like her family's kind of like clout chasers. And like they're very much so like if there's paparazzi, they're gonna stop, they're gonna take the pictures, like this and that. And it's just very interesting
Mhm.
the switch. And obviously, the big thing to come out of it that this girl was writing about in this article, air quotes for our listeners and not our visual listeners. So it's like he basically was a little insecure, possibly, with this superstar, you know, bigger than him girlfriend because I don't know who Joe Alwyn is
No.
without Taylor I like people were saying like, "Oh yeah, he was in this movie." And I'm like, "Okay, where?" I don't even know. Like I don't know this person. And now all of a sudden he's like everyone knows who Joe Alwyn is now because he was Taylor Swift's ex-boyfriend. And I just think it's very interesting. And I saw a tweet which was very funny, which was some girl said that her mom was wondering why Joe Alwyn needed a pen name on Folklore as William Bowery when nobody even knew who he was to begin with. So I'm just gonna take a sip of my drink.
Mic drop. But no, I think this is really, really insulting to Taylor. And it says a lot about him and his own insecurities for sure. But it also says a lot about how he felt about her. Like
Sure.
to only like your girlfriend or significant other of any kind in private is you're not really being true to them. You're not being true to yourself. Like, I don't know. It's just very confusing. And when you have someone that's like as one of a kind as she is, to try and put her in a box, I
Yeah.
think is fucked up.
Yeah. And like it's very obvious that we didn't even get to talk about the kiss.
We
The
didn't.
run and kiss, which was an incredible, incredible video that I watched about 17,000 times.
Yep.
And like, the closest thing we got to that was in the Miss Americana documentary where she hugs Joe and all we see is him from behind in a hat.
And it's
And
like a
like,
one-arm hug.
yeah, and it's like not really like what we saw when she runs to Travis after the fact.
They're
It's
so
very slay of
passionate.
her to change the name, the lyric in Karma, which I assume is the Joe Alwyn lyric with the summit, and changing it to the guy on the Chiefs instead of the guy on the screen. That's incredibly slay of her. And the fact that they pan to him and he's like, "Oh my god, my girlfriend just talked about me in public." Like, it's just their relationship is incredibly pure.
Yes.
And it's very like seeing it now. I mean, we were, people loved Joe when she was with him because she loved Joe.
Yeah.
So nobody really had anything bad to say about him, but the comparison, and I would feel different if he was out, just continuously being in his little box,
Yeah.
I'll be like, all right, Joe, fucking do you.
Yeah.
But the fact that now that he's like out and he's like stopping for paparazzi and taking pictures and this and that and blah blah blah, like, dude,
It's
like stay consistent at least.
yeah, no, it's very weird. And I've been accused of like switching up on Joe. However, I loved Joe when I thought that Taylor also wanted to be kept out of the public. Like
Sure.
when
Yeah.
I was under the impression that that's what she wanted, I was like, good, love that for her. Like, I'm glad he gives her that security. Like, that was how I viewed their relationship. However, with the music that's come out and with the way that she's been acting since they've broken up, like she at least for the last handful of years, I should say 2-3 years, that's not what she's wanted. And she's been doing that to be with him and to please him and to satisfy him. When like the few pictures that they do have out in public, like he's not even like when they're just like casually strolling, he's not even looking at her. They're not holding hands. Like, I don't know. I just feel like that spark was missing. And I feel like she's fully getting that with Travis. And
Yeah.
I just think she deserves it. I like she is Taylor Swift. And I know how much she wants to be normal, but she's not. And she's never going to be normal. She's like one of the most famous, talented, amazing, excellent, exquisite. I can't say enough amazing things about her, but like she's like on this tier that like no one else gets to. And I'm glad that she has someone that is now acknowledging, like, I know how special she is, and I'm just trying to maintain it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that I'm living by the theory that I saw in terms of like the way some relationships end up working where you like, you have like your starting boyfriends or whatever, and then you break up and then you like do your thing and then you get into this long term relationship that you think is going to be the one, and
Yep.
then you leave it, and then the person you find after that is like your person, which I think you're someone who could, say that happened to you.
Yeah.
Like that is something that I mean, it didn't happen to me. I can't vouch for that, but like,
No, I
it
basically
seems like that's something that works out that way.
yes.
And I wholeheartedly believe that if they ever do break up, I think that it's going to be a huge blow to a lot of people because she seems incredibly happy, and it's just, the fact that he went down to Argentina and like did everything to like be there with her, and how he's talking about it on his own podcast, like like I feel like we've never gotten this much information.
Yeah,
Like,
he talks about it
correct me
so
if I'm wrong,
casually.
but
No, like he literally is like, oh yeah, I flew down to Argentina. I met her there. We went out for dinner with her dad, and we went to this restaurant. We were doing this, and then we just got to chill because this got postponed. And then I went to the concert and it was amazing. And I was just like I
yeah,
feel like I'm getting
play
like
by play.
yes, and like inside, like I feel like I'm suddenly in their inner circle, even though I know I'm so not. But like you said, like we've just never had like details like this before.
Yeah, and, like, again, like, people can scream all they want about publicity and doing this for, the visuals, for the media, for all this stuff, but, like, I don't know, it seems pretty real to me,
It does.
and, like and, like, I'm really enjoying it, and I can't stop talking about it,
No.
really, and people will complain all they want, but I just can't stop talking about it. I literally was like, to my mom, I was just like, "Mom, did you see the video of Taylor and Travis?" And she, like, came running in and she was like, "I did see it. She's in love." And I
Yes,
was like, "She is in love." Like,
they
even
both
my mother.
they both are in love.
Yeah,
Um,
oh, and the freaking, the Wall Street Journal article?
I was floored.
Holy shit.
He
This
was
man, it
like,
was just an article about him talking about his girlfriend.
yes.
That's all it was.
And it was like I was sobbing. And then also, do you remember when Donna Kelsey first got interviewed after Taylor first went to the game? And everyone was like, her vibe is off. She must not like Taylor. She doesn't support this relationship. Da da da. She
Right.
just came out and was like, this is the happiest I've seen Travis in such a long time. She was like, I was so hesitant at first to be so open about it because we didn't know what to expect. And she's like, now I'm comfortable about it. And she loves her. And I just like and like even the way Kylie talked about it and the way Jason jokes about it, like it just seems to be working so well. And Taylor's obviously a superstar, Travis is a superstar, but the reason I think this does have such a good chance of working is because both of the parents remind me so much of each other with the way that they have kept them humbled and the way
Sure.
that they have, like, they came into fame as well and they didn't let it change anything. So I think that kind of adds to it as well. Like, I can see the in-laws being really close. Like, I just see this like whole family working.
Mhm. I agree. I agree. And I would like to talk a little bit about her past weekend, which is a
Yes.
little gear shift in terms of, um, you know, tone.
Yes.
But for those that don't know, this past weekend, Taylor was in Brazil for her Eras tour, and the temperature was super hot. It was like over 100 degrees, and with the humidity, it was like some outrageous temperature.
I heard
Um,
140.
that's what I heard as well. I didn't know if that was true or not, but, um and unfortunately, a fan passed away due to the heat and due to dehydration, which caused her to have a heart attack from what I understand.
Yeah.
Her name was Anna, and it, like, shook Taylor's world. It shook a lot of people's worlds,
Mhm.
honestly, but there's this whole debate now about who they're gonna put the fault on. I personally put the fault on the venue. I think that this is
Absolutely.
100% the venue's fault for taking people's water away and then not putting out stations and this whole thing. But yeah, tell me your thoughts on this whole thing.
Yeah, no, the fact that people are even trying to blame Taylor, I think is awful. I can't wrap my head around it. It's not the stadium has their own rules. And because of those rules, this happened. And it's literally like a linear line. Like Taylor didn't come into Brazil and say no one can bring water. You,
Right.
you have to like that's not her team was the one running around to everyone in the crowds trying to get them water and get them access to water. And she's on stage singing All Too Well, throwing water bottles, yelling water. They need water 15 feet back. She stopped during champagne problems because someone needed water. Like she cares so much. And the loss crippled her. Like she had to
Yeah.
she postponed the show because the next night was I believe was supposed to be even hotter.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just didn't want to risk anything. And also she was grieving. So I felt awful for her. I wanted her to just get out of Brazil because I also heard that the day that she did cancel, when fans were leaving the stadiums, they were being robbed outside the stadiums. Like her team's car was getting smashed, and I understand people are angry. There's a lot going on, but I think to turn around and put it on her, I just don't think it's fair, and I felt
No.
awful.
Yeah, it just seems like it's getting a little out of control, and precautions for not just her team, but for the venue were not met. And I mean, you even saw there was videos of her I saw specifically when she was doing her 1989 set, where her body is completely beet red. She
Mhm.
was sweating through all of her dresses, and like we know she's a sweaty girl. You know, she sweats pretty often, but like never through her clothes. So it's very obvious that it was that hot and that humid and just like damp in the air, basically. And that's a lot, especially the fact that this is now set up different than our shows, than the United States shows, because this is general admission, which is horrifying as someone
Mhm.
who's had bad general admission, you know, stories in the past going to concerts. If you don't have that crowd in line, it's just mayhem. Like, there is no controlling people, just a giant crowd of people, especially in a hot temperature. It's like people are just gonna go out of their minds.
Yeah, and that's literally what was happening.
Yeah, no, it's very sad, and when she's saying "bigger than the whole sky," I felt very, very sad, and she could tell how she was just, like, eyes down, watching the piano, watching herself play the piano, because she was like, "If I look up and, like, engage at all, like, it's gonna be over."
Yeah.
So, but
No.
I think overall, from what she could do, she did everything she could, and I'm sure from here on out, every single venue that she's gonna go to, it's gonna be like, if there's a heat warning, water stations,
Oh, yeah.
like, every precaution is going to be met because, unfortunately, mistakes have to happen for things to change. So, I can't imagine anything like this happening again for the rest of the tour, though.
No. No, and I know she feels awful, and going back to what, you were saying too, like, for everyone, like, trying to blame her, and, like, there are people that were so mad that she postponed. I
Yeah.
saw a video, like you were saying, you see her, like, sweating for, like, the first like, I remember and one of my favorite comedians, Taylor Tomlinson, had a skit about this where she was like, "You go to concerts and you wanna see people, like, as humans. Like, you wanna see these superstars as you wanna see them sweat, you wanna see them dirty, like,
Mhm.
and you get up close to Taylor and she's still like this perfect, magnificent, like perfectly put together. And you're like, well, that's just not fair. Like you really are perfect. Like, and I saw the video of her being beat red, which you really saw the heat for the first time. And I also saw during the midnight set, she was
Yes.
in the vigilante shit costume, and you could tell she went to go back singing and she put the mic back down and she was literally like,
Yeah,
like
like, it was
couldn't
I
breathe.
mean, that's a close to a 4-hour workout,
Yep.
and that's, like, the 3rd day in a row that you're doing it.
Yep.
Um
In 140 degrees Fahrenheit.
Like, that shit is not easy.
No.
Like, imagine running up and down that fucking stage. Like, it's a workout. You have to be incredibly fit to perform, and it's
Yeah.
just the nature of the beast. But
Yeah, no, but I hope that she gets a little break.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's not touring again until after the new year, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
at
yeah, I think so.
so at least she gets some time to kind of cope, come home, be with Travis, be happy, like just do all the things that bring you joy. But I also think that coming back out, I think she was very nervous because I think she thought everyone was going to hate her. And you see the relief all over her face in Champagne Problems when she does come back out and everyone's chanting, "We love you, Taylor. We love you, Taylor." Um, and I think she really needed that. So I just
Yeah.
hope she's okay. I'm worried
Yeah,
about her.
and just sending good thoughts and everything we can to families that were hurt,
Affected.
you know, there were several people who things were happening to. It was, you know, it's just crazy. So, and I hope that the rest of the tour is like safe and like okay, because it's different. United States is kind of a special place, and that's just a fact. I'm not trying to be like, you know, American is the best. Like I'm just saying, like the United States is like things are done a specific way, and like that's just not always the case in other countries. So
Mm. Ah, craziness, craziness.
craziness.
I don't
But
have a good segue into our next
I
topics.
mean, it's Thanksgiving week. We got to talk about Thanksgiving, and that includes talking about Thanksgiving Eve, which is for us tomorrow. So
Yes,
transition into
done.
Thanksgiving Eve.
Um, No, so wait, what's your normal, like, is this, I'm pretty sure this is a nationwide thing where Thanksgiving Eve is like this huge party night. It's a high school reunion. You all go to one bar that has bathrooms outside and they remove all the tables and it's just, you don't, why
I
you
don't know
giving
about
that one?
bathrooms outside, but
Oh, no, they bring like those porta potty bus things.
oh, I know
And
what you're
that's,
talking about, but no, that's not in the city. I don't
oh
think
yeah, I
there's
guess we
space
can't.
for it.
We're in suburbia.
Yeah.
Um, Good old suburbia.
But yes, it is a nationwide thing from what I understand. Going out and getting plastered with everyone that you've ever met in your life.
Yep.
The night before Thanksgiving. I have done this several times. I will say I have not done it in quite a number of years. Due to just several different things happening. Um, and because I'm an ancient old woman who doesn't have fun anymore. Actually, I am gonna have fun. I'm
You
going
are.
I'm not going out to a bar, I'm not gonna get plastered drunk, but I am going to see Billy Joel with my parents on New Year's Eve, Thanksgiving Eve. And I'm really freaking excited about it because it's at the Garden. It's one of Billy Joel's last shows at the Garden for, like, the rest of his career, and I'm so freaking stoked about it.
No, that is going to be absolutely unreal. I'm on the total end of that. And I am being a full degenerate.
Good.
Where
Somebody's
I'm
gotta do
going
it.
to a place called the Chicken or the Egg. That
You're
is,
going to check?
you have Chegg too?
No, I've been there though.
The
I've
LBI
gone to
Chegg?
LBI, yes, I've gone to Chegg.
See, this is one of those experiences where like Sam
It
is
was
not that far from me. However, whenever we have like an overlap like that, I can't wrap my mind around it.
well, you forget that I've gone to LBI
I
for
know, I forget,
many
and then
years
you
of my
tell
life.
me.
But the Chegg was on was it Man versus Food? They were
Yeah.
on some sort of TV show. I think it was Man versus Food for the chicken thing, like absurd amount of chicken to eat.
Yeah.
And when I went there with my friend Kat, like years ago, she was like, "Oh my god, should we go to the Chegg?" And I was like, "Mhm, okay." And we went there and we ate. So I know exactly where that is and what you're talking about.
Yes, no, I will be there. Now, the one that opened in my town, is very different than the Chegg in LBI. And
Okay.
the Chegg in LBI is like a sacred place for me. I lived in LBI for like 2 summers. I worked down there. So I was a waitress down the shore at the Jersey Shore. So like there's a very specific like standard. Like you work like a dog,
Yeah.
50-hour weeks, make the most money you've ever made, and then you end your shift and you just like get with all your server friends and you go to the like closest bar. And that's like what, ask anyone that has ever served down the shore in Jersey, like it's that
I
lifestyle.
love that.
Oh, it was so fun. And like your only friends are like the people you serve with. And I was like, this is fucking dope.
Yeah.
But so we lived at Chegg, but the Chegg for us, it was 24/7 BYOB. Like you go and you can get waffles or wings.
Okay.
So we would leave the bar, and because everyone there was a waitress, like we all knew the other waitresses, they would just give us beers. We put them in our pockets and like walk out. So I would
Amazing.
walk into the Chegg, pull a Coors Light out of my jean pocket and crack it and Chegg at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like that's my experience with Chegg. The one that just opened in Marlton, they made it like nice, and it's like got a really nice bar. It's gorgeous. And they have this gorgeous beer garden. However, the food is still Chegg food. Like it's still 3
Okay.
in the morning food. So like
Yeah.
you go there for a good vibe, but you're like, fuck, I can't eat anything. Like, and are you ready for this? This is the most South Jersey bar thing ever.
Oh my god.
They are opening up. So like their kitchen, you know how like you'll have like the kitchen line in a restaurant where like all the waitresses and food runners and everyone goes?
Mhm.
They are just making the doors for that open. So every single person can just walk through, and they're making it like a high school cafeteria vibe. And they're having a select menu. So you just walk through their legit kitchen and are like, oh, I'll take the chicken fingers or the burger or the quesadilla. Like they're going to have like a mini menu, and you walk through and then they're putting a cashier at the end.
Wait, that's actually kind of fun though.
No, it's going to be so fun. But like, just imagine, like when they were explaining it to me, I was like, what are they doing? Because like every time I go in there, there's obviously like tables, chairs,
Yeah.
waitresses. And they're like, oh no, everything's getting moved out. And you're just going to walk through the kitchen and order your food.
That's incredible.
So that's
That
where I'll be.
I've usually gone to a bar called the Kettle Black, and I haven't been there in like a year because it's kind of turned upside down a little bit. But I just have a distinct memory of the last time I went out for Thanksgiving Eve. I was at this bar. I was, had drinks in my body, and I was in the back of the bar because I hate being in the big crowd of people sometimes. I'm like, I just want to
Yeah.
be up against a wall and like have a conversation with my friends and like chill out for a second. And we were in the back of the bar, and it was right next to the kitchen door. So like normally you can go to this place and eat, kind of like, this, like you go in
Yeah.
and you sit down, and it's like a wings bar kind of place. And we were right next to the kitchen door, and this guy just came out with a tray, and it was about 4 feet long. And he just walks out and he just looks at us and he goes, "Are you ladies hungry?" And I was like, "Yes." And he just opens the top, and it was just steaming hot soft pretzels. Like
Stop.
at like 2 in the morning. Like they were just like they came prepared. Like they were like, "There's a bunch of drunk kids here. We're gonna feed them carbs and get them to go home." And I got a like for free. For free. They just handed these things out. But we were right next to the door, so it was hot. And this man handed me a steaming hot soft pretzel. And I cannot remember the way I felt. Like I'm chasing that high still of a man handing me a soft pretzel while I was drunk.
You don't understand.
I know how much you love soft pretzels. That's why I'm telling you this.
I live my everyday hoping something like that happens to me.
That's why I was like, I have to tell you this because I know how much you love soft pretzels.
I love them so much. Like if I am out and there is a pretzel with I love spicy mustard
Yes.
on the menu or pretzel bites of any kind, I'm getting it. Like if I ever say no, something's wrong.
Pulse check.
Pulse check. I asked for I have a Pandora bracelet, and Brian's like, "Oh, what charm's gonna get you?" And I said, "I want the soft pretzel charm."
Yes.
Like they have a soft pretzel charm. Like,
they do. Here it is.
Yeah. Hint.
Yeah, that's incredible though. That's incredible.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my last Thanksgiving Eve memory. But yeah, I don't.
You know what? You never have to go to another one. That's
I
enough
really
for a
don't.
lifetime.
I just don't think I need to. And like, I remember the last time I went out too, I just like ran into people that I was like, wow, you're like the last fucking person I want to lay eyes on right now. And like, just, I'm an engaged lady. I'm getting married. I feel like that's not my demographic anymore, unfortunately.
No, I
It
feel
could
you.
be, but I don't even want to do it.
And then also you get so drunk. My family plays a football game the morning after, so I'm going to be a shell of a human being.
That's right.
And then we have to go and eat a full meal. So if you cross that line where you're like a little sick, like you don't want to ruin your Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes. Yeah. No, that'd be rough.
So tell me, what are your favorite Thanksgiving foods?
Okay. First of all, I think that all vegetables should be abolished on Thanksgiving. I don't know why people even make a dish. Nobody touches it. I just had a thing. People have like Friendsgiving. I have Cousins-giving with my cousins and like all of our significant others, and we just get together and we have our Cousins-giving. And we did not have one singular vegetable. And I was like, this is the best Thanksgiving I could have ever asked for. For me, I am also a little biased because I'm in charge of this, but mashed potatoes is like my main thing. Like I freaking love mashed potatoes. I love gravy. But that's my job. Like my job is to make the mashed potatoes, and I've been told I make them pretty well. So that's my main thing. I do love, a good slice of turkey. I do love a good slice of ham. But honestly, that's like the extent of my Thanksgiving plate. Maybe some corn. But in terms of traditional foods, like Thanksgiving foods, that's kind of the extent.
Do you consider mac and cheese a Thanksgiving food?
So we never had mac and cheese at our Thanksgiving because we had tortellini because we are a half Italian family. But at my cousin's giving, my cousin did invite one of his like couple friends who came in and they're from the South and they brought mac and cheese. And I went, why don't we have this at Thanksgiving? I love mac and cheese.
Yes.
So if that was a staple in my house, 100% I think it's a Thanksgiving food.
So when I was younger, and I get where my family was coming from, when I was younger, I was like, I just want a box of Velveeta on the Thanksgiving table.
For
And everyone
sure.
was like, this doesn't feel right, but they did it for me. However, in the recent years, one of my cousins started bringing like a baked, like gourmet mac and cheese. And whenever anyone says like mac and cheese isn't a Thanksgiving thing, I'm like, how dare you? Like, it
Why
fits.
not though? Like
It's
where's the disconnect there?
right, right. It's so American. Thanksgiving is the coming together of cultures. We can have American mac and cheese. And then I don't know. I think it fits the vibe and I love everything about it. So that is my favorite Thanksgiving food, but it's 50-50. People sometimes are like, oh yeah, I totally get it vibe. And then the other half of people are like, that is not a Thanksgiving food. And I'm like, well, it is to me.
I don't understand why people wouldn't think it's not a Thanksgiving food. Like
Right?
I just don't get it.
I don't get the disconnect.
I freaking love two of my favorite things in the world, cheese and pasta, and they put it together and now it's my favorite freaking thing. And like I freaking love mac and cheese.
I'm literally eating slices of cheese
Yeah.
throughout the show. Slices of American cheese.
Yes. But yeah, I 100%
I was going to
would
say
do that. And I even told my cousins, I was like, we should just start bringing mac and cheese to
do it.
Thanksgiving. Like, who's
No
gonna
one
say
will
no?
complain.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like who's not gonna eat this? Like, it's pasta and cheese. Like, it's fantastic.
Oh,
I love it.
I love it. I love everything about it. I love everything about this. And I also just want to say, super cheesy, but we are very grateful for reading this now. Reads so funny. So for anyone listening on audio, I have a banner that says, we are grateful for our unsolicited followers. And I was making it to like be cute, but now I'm reading it and I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
If you think about it, all followers are unsolicited. You never really
I didn't ask for you to follow me.
But yes, we are very
However,
grateful.
we are very grateful. We are grateful for everyone who listened to us for the throughout this year, throughout our 25 episodes so far. And I know, crazy. It helped get us out of our little rut that we were in. And we just love everything about you guys. And as of right now, I think we will be back next week.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't be.
If we're not, we'll let you know on socials. So make sure to follow us there. Oh my God, the transition. Make sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at the Unsolicited_podcast. Make sure to check us out on Twitter at Sam and Jordyn. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you're listening on audio, give us a rating, follow us, give us a review if you want. No pressure or anything. And we love you, and we'll hopefully be back next week.